welcome back to another Tornado Time weather forecast. Today I will be talking about an update to the Storm Prediction Center. It's an upgrade. It's pretty big. Also, 3 tropical disturbances and where they are headed. The Hurricane Prediction Center has updated those as well. Make sure to like and subscribe and also ring the bell to never miss out on another weather forecast. Now, the Storm Prediction Center here has an enhanced risk from western Illinois into Missouri and Nebraska and Iowa, and the slight risk stretching all the way down to Georgia, up to Iowa and Nebraska, even into South Dakota. Then we have another slight risk for North Dakota and South Dakota for like the 3rd time this week. Now then we have a marginal risk up north here in Maine and New York. And then in Wisconsin, all there, this really big one, and then the small one up north. Now the tornado has a 2% in North Dakota into Canada, and then we have another 2% from most of Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, all the way up to Minnesota and Iowa and Nebraska. There's like that. Now the wind risk that's why they upgraded it, because we have a hatched wind risk here for 65 knots or greater within 25 miles a point, and then we have a 30% chance of that happening. And the hail risk is average 15% risk here. And then if we go check our day 2 outlook, this is a slight risk from Kansas all the way up to Minnesota and South Dakota. Now our tornado risk has a pretty good 2% risk from Illinois all the way up to South Dakota, Minnesota, areas like that. Then our wind risk is a 15% wind risk, and our hail risk is a 15% too. Now, our day 3 outlook is a slight risk from Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana, even northern Kentucky. Then we have a marginal risk stretching all the way from Wisconsin, Iowa, all the way down to North and South Carolina. Now we check our NAM model here. This is the temperatures for the day. This is Tuesday around noon. And then if we move it, this is at 6 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. As you can see, we got those pretty high temperatures here, into the 90s, mid 90s here, even into the double digits in Texas and Kansas and Oklahoma. Now, if we move into Wednesday, as you can see, it goes down, but then once the sun starts to rise, the temperatures will go back up. Now, Tuesday, they're still showing the same thing. We got a cool point up in the Great Lakes here for northern and central Illinois, like Chicago and Milwaukee area into Cedar Rapids area. We got this random circle of non-heat. They were seeing that for yesterday. It seems to go more east, though, and dissipate as we get into later. Now let's check Thursday's temperatures. Thursday, really it's into it's really into the 90s again, but then we have this circle of non-heat again for northern Illinois, Chicago area, that this time doesn't move out. Now, let's check our dew points here for today. So this is at noon. We check it, as you can see, once we reach 9 o'clock at night, we've got storms that fire up. We got into the 80s in southern Illinois, but in the areas that are expected, the worst, into the 70s, 75, upper 70s there. Now, if we move into Wednesday, Wednesday at around 9. We got mainly the areas that are expected again are in the 70s. That's a good high amount for storms to fire and fuel. Yeah, we even got some into the 80s. Now, let's check Thursday. I get why the Storm Prediction Center wanted over here because we got into the 80s and dew points where all those pinks are. Now we are going to check our cape here for which is the storm energy, how the storms can fire. This is at noon. Let's go into 9. And at night, as you can see, we got very high levels. We are in the 4,000s, maybe even 5,000s here. Now, let's check for, oh yeah, that's definitely high, but then once we check for Wednesday night, we got it even more, 5,000s, could even be into the 6,000s there. And then if we check for Thursday night, the cape increases a bit, not as high as they were looking at it, but yeah, into the 4,000s, maybe 5,000s there. Now we're going to check our wind shear here. The wind shear, just let it load, okay. The wind shear as we go into tonight is pretty, it's not high, but in the areas that it is, we got into the 40s, lower 40s. Now if we go to check for tomorrow, we got wind shear is pretty high into the 60s in Chicago area. Yeah, and then in Indiana, we've got around 70s even, and then up here in Minnesota, got 70s, upper 70s. Now let's check for Thursday. Thursday, it looks like we got not as strong. We got just some little pockets like into the 40s and 50s. Now we are going to check our HRRR model for the timing of these storms. This only goes for Tuesday today. It's not long, it's pretty short. As we go throughout today into the 9 o'clock hour, as you can see, most storms, there's not many storms for today, and then into Wednesday, there's really not many storms. There's some scattered down here in Kentucky. That's really it, what the HRRR model is showing here. It ends at 8 o'clock in the morning, but then we do got some scattered storms here in Illinois. Now we are going to check the tropical disturbances. As you can see in Florida here, we have this storm, well, it's heading towards Florida, and it has a 60% chance of cyclone formation, 7 days. Yesterday, I think it was 50% yesterday. And yeah, they're looking at it going, National Hurricane Center is looking at it going up the coast. It can hit Florida maybe, but they're looking at going up the coast, the east coast here. Now we're going to check the Eastern Pacific. As you can see, they did upgrade some more. We got this as a 90% chance of formation in 7 days. Then we got this one below it, which was an orange yesterday. Now it is a red as a 70% chance of formation in 7 days. Now we do have this disturbance that is a 30% chance heading towards really just the out towards the Central Pacific, out towards Hawaii. Probably, I'm sure it won't make it there, possibly, but I really don't think so. Central Pacific, there's nothing going on in here. Hawaii's all clear. But thank you for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and ring the bell so you never miss out on another weather forecast.